cloak of invisibility. Or some rubbish like that. It's actually a green blanket. See? Anyway, down to business. You're going to get a quick update. So, A, I cooled down this house a little bit. Yay me. B, life's drama continues. And boy, are we going to have fun with it. Look at my dabbly, smiley fleece. Just look at this fucking face, kids. This is someone who gets joy in battles that he knows he can win. And why wouldn't you? So, short version of the story, and you're going to get a longer version later as we power through new battles and stuff. If you guys love the Christian neighbors try their damnedest little clips and the euphoria of antagonizing the would-be antagonists, then you're going to love what happens next here. I may even lose my home in the process. We'll see. But oh boy, will I have fun doing so. I assure you that, folks. It'll definitely be some inspiration for the School of Evil, and no matter which way it goes, it will definitely be material that will be used to tell you how and what power strategies and yeah. So, but the short version of things is I've been without hot water for nearly 2 weeks. Guess who's doing nothing about that? Correct. I don't even know if we should call him Landlord. You know, it seems pretty high, but he does get pretty high. Seen him show up. Dude laughs like a cartoon. It's crazy. But we're going to have a lot of fun here. I haven't been this pumped for war in a while. And there's been a couple I've had that just are all too joyous. Just too joyous. It takes a while to get to this state. And I wish I could be in this state on purpose. You know, but you got to piss me off enough to motivate me enough to really put myself as the best version of myself. All my intelligence, all my lessons, all my everything ready, and my mind, my body, my heart, my emotions, my soul all agree that this is what we're doing now. So, you know, it's like that Hatebreed song. Your doubt, it fuels me. Your hate, it drives me. You make me fight harder. Well, every now and then someone will push me over the edge. Okay, just upset, or more likely just angry enough to take form. And that form is going to show you you're not as cool as you thought. All the stuff that I overlooked, all the patience that I had, all the forgiveness I might display, you know, all the times I looked the other way to allow you whatever detestable behavior or circumstance. Those days are over. To quote another song you should totally check out if you want some good war tunes to listen to. This is war. Now, what is it? It's called War is Coming, I believe, by D hyphen, a dash, right? D Devils. It might be pronounced the Devils, but who knows? And my favorite line in that song, which is just kind of a techno-y repeat of samples kind of thing anyway, says, "Listen, I never promised peace. You just wanted to believe in it. Well, those days are over." And I just love that. That's some powerful shit, right? So, how long should someone be patient and endure suffering, be sick for another, be broke for another, or any real circumstance that means you suffering so someone else can be lazy, pathetic, and a burden on you? Let's be real. Well, I think 7 months of going through various challenges is plenty of time to fix any given one of those. And now that they haven't, and the motherfuckers decided to steal from me, threw away some of my very expensive shit and other retarded problems, well, I've dealt with the heat. I've dealt with it up to 93 degrees in this house. I've dealt with the lack of hot water. Well, let's see what you like. I hope you Satanists in training out there are learning a little something. Let's see how you like a little taste of your own medicine. For every lie you've told, let's see how clever I can be. But first we'll tell the truth, because it's so fucking effective. Truth. Satyagraha, my friends. Truth is effective. So first we'll tell the truth. We won't even need to slander you. We'll just show what happens. And the documents and videos, stuff that we've made, including the wife screaming and cursing, calling people crybaby little children. Wasn't even me. I wasn't even talking. Nevertheless, you all are was used in the words. I have a recording of that. Let's see how well you play against other criminals if I decide to be a criminal like you, or more accurately, a tyrant. How do you play against other tyrants? When someone is just as self-concerned, you know, I'm more important than you, alleged, you know, as you are, how will that play out? When someone is not intimidated, and decides to be just as fear-mongering, manipulative, and catastrophic as you are, I wonder how that will play out. When you can decide, whatever, Mr. 30-day trembly hand, shaky day notice guy, you're in fear. And you know why you're in fear. Because you're wrong. And you're about to lose everything and your backup plan as a failed Navy engineer. It's all about the collapse. If you push too hard, and you might not have done XYZ repairs or worked on things right, but you made sure I got to the tipping point to where I'm going to do something about it if you won't. I'm going to make something change. Regardless, I'm going to shut you down from this form of manipulation, narcissism, abuse. Insert favorite word for unacceptable or detestable behaviors and circumstances here. So I'm kind of looking forward to it. First I was mad, like I found my fucking cookware and shit in the trash. Like I had an oyster, one of those hot plate things where you can turn the knob like a stove up to 250 degrees or what have you and cook all kinds of lovely shit on it. Sandwiches, eggs, steaks, the whole of it. Beautiful technology. Got to find that. Now first, he contacted my case manager and he told them that I even had to throw some dishes away because he didn't clean them. Now wouldn't you know, folks, this is a guy who sent me a text message about, and now he hasn't fixed the hot water. 2 weeks, okay? And he had the audacity to send me a text message and say, hey, do you mind? Yes, I fucking do. If you go in there and use a pot to boil some hot water to do the dishes, yes, I fucking mind. You go fix the device. This is my reply to him. You go fix and give me functional equipment, and I'll get on it immediately. Immediately. Okay? Fuck no, I ain't gonna do that. This is the same guy that when I gave him a check to cash, I didn't have a bank account, unique circumstances, doesn't matter, but my SSI check, he decides to steal from my SSI check and deliver me part of the money. After already having stolen some of my money, he decides to say, well, I took $40 out of there. I hope that's all right. It's a delivery fee. What the fuck do you mean it's a delivery fee? Who agreed to that? You could have told me no. I could have gotten someone else to handle it and not lost $40. If you asked for money, if you asked, I might give it to you. But definitely not $40. Maybe up to $20. Maybe. And that's if you come and do something in that trip while you're here. Finish painting, 1/3 of a door is painted. Finish painting the door. It doesn't take 7 months to paint a door. I don't even need that, but just to show you have some kind of principle, you know, some kind of work ethic, that you're not a lazy, retarded stoner showing up to leech off of mentally ill wallets. That's crazy, right? Now, what's going to happen? I love these war games, okay? What's going to happen when I am ill? When I am the bipolar beast? What's going to happen when I am out of control and a problem and need and deserve a 30-day notice? How do you see that one playing out for you, brother? When you had people standing here, you know, people living here, beat down my door with a sledgehammer and not fucking replace it. It's still kind of hanging from the frame. What do you think's going to happen if I snap? You're dealing with housing mentally ill people and you're putting them under quite a bit of pressure. What happens if they fight back? You could be under some violent terrorist threat. Of course, I'm not physically violent. Unless you are. Might be able to talk you into it. But, you know, I don't know. Navy engineer discipline. But as you can tell, I'm greatly looking forward to the challenges because they're definitely challenges I can win. And I've been a little bit of a chillaxed person, you know, waiting on other morons to allegedly do, oh, I promise by the end of the week. It's been months. Oh, next week. Oh. Yeah, okay, I'm holding you responsible. Your whole house of cards is about to metaphorically burn down because I don't want you to think I'm going to burn your house down if you ever find this video, which I don't. But, hey, over 7 months ago, I made a video documenting some of the conditions of this house. I did. It's set to private, and it was recorded by a friend's phone, so it isn't even on my account. Good luck. And it will show that in 7 months you've made 0 progress. So here's what's going to happen, folks. I know he's not going to see this, so I can lay out some of the battle plan. Hope you enjoy. You think it's okay to be evil? Really? Well, okay, then I think it too. I'm glad we can agree. Let's shake on that. If you thought we should be nice, then I'd be nice with you. I have been for some time. But here's what's going to happen. The most likely of scenarios playing here for it. Look at this. You can't fake this excess joy. I'm stifling everything I can to not just give a evil laugh. Okay? So, man, I wonder what the quality's been coming like, because my mic is definitely not in a great position. So basically what's going to happen is, oh no, now everybody knows. Too many people know about what he needs to do now, instead of just me with the promises to me and the text messages, histories, and documentation of what he claims versus the opposite. I also am the only one with a copy of the contract, right, that we signed. Not all my workers yet, you know, not all my agents yet, not all my friends and fellow humblebees yet. So, I know you've broken the contract since day one, and so do you. Fearful, shaky hand. Giving me that 30-day notice. Because I, had the audacity to complain to my black landlord about a black roommate tenant. Now, I'm not being racist saying this, but you're going to see why I said it this way in a second. Who didn't want to do anything about the scenario because he would have to choose between a black and a white person to help. A violent person beating down sledgehammer doors, you know, chop that speech, but whatever. And a guy asking for help and doing it the right way, doing what I'm told. Okay. Although those stereotypes sound pretty true about me, huh? Allegedly white, right? We're supposed to be pussies. You know what the landlord encouraged me to do to slow down this guy's violence? You know, call the police every time, anytime. He wants that attention on his house. Anyway. What's about to happen is I'm going to push him, because now too many people know. My case manager knows. Soon, Adult Protective Services will know. That's going to be fun, a thorough investigation. I'm sure I'll have a wellness check done on me. I live in deplorable conditions. And these are all true. But it's time we start using the truth to our advantage instead of sitting in silence, right? So, they'll get to find out, since my case manager already knows, since like 4 other people already know, they're going to push the envelope. So, you're going to have to, because, you know, you might be able to get over on the mentally ill of the learning disabled roommate, right? Who lacks the ability to complain properly. And that might come off too strong. Hence, a case manager is a good idea. Middleman's a great idea. But now you got all these extra people in on it, and they function seemingly better than me, right? And they probably have more respect than you, or might handle it in an unpredictable way since you don't regularly deal with them to assess their characters and behaviors and manipulate knowing knowledge about a person. So basically, now you have all those extra people to impress, not me, by fixing the window, fixing the doors, etc., fixing the fucking heat problem, fixing the hot water as well. That's 4 motherfucking things you better get off your ass and get on, my brother. So, if you want to be racist and pick all the black people, in fact, I'm the only white person to ever live here, and he doesn't put white people in his house. Interesting, right? Okay. You know, and I try really hard not to think like that, but it's very obvious when people make those sorts of decisions and when they talk certain ways where they are. In fact, he tried to make excuses for the violent sledgehammer roommate. Keep in mind how he was raised. What does that mean if not racism? Like saying coming from the hood or the ghetto or something, or black. What am I supposed to take from that? What the fuck does that mean? I had to ask and he couldn't tell me. Go figure. What do you mean keep in mind how he was raised? See, because the only logical understanding I can pull from that bullshit racism is he had to deal with white people growing up. He had to learn to act hard and to survive in this world. And that's all kind of true to a point, I'm sure. You know, I don't disregard that racism exists out there, but that's no reason to encourage it in new racist scenarios because of your irrational fears and stupidity. You know, what the fuck, right? But anyway, he was making excuses for the guy. You need to remember how he was raised and where he comes from. What? What does that mean? What the fuck? Alright. If that's the case, you need to remember, stereotype me, that I'm supposed to be the white devil and I should be a terrorist and a problem at all times, right? I'm here to keep you down. Except I'm not. But if you're going to think that way, then you better be fearful for your fucking life, right? Now keep in mind, this is all rhetoric, that I'm not making any kind of threats or anything like this. I'm not being hostile in any way. Except for holding someone to the laws and agreements that we've held. I might cast a little bit of bitchcraft as well on top of it, especially knowing he's a believer and gave wholehearted evil laughs at the retaliation I gave to the neighbors. Really loved it. He really loved it, because he don't want those people tearing up his property. So what's going to happen is I'm probably going to be challenged to a court situation. He's not going to want to do all these repairs. He might do one of them. Allegedly, he's already ordered the window. Allegedly, he can't find a worker to install it. This is coming from a guy who collects the things that he needs from the trash and who hires exclusively family members to do it for free or immigrants to do it for cheap. Immigrants that were willing to... They couldn't figure out how to remove the camera from the wall, so they smashed the board it was attached to right off the wall with a hammer. To what? Install a window. Ah? Yes, you can find it, sir. Immigrants so stupid they're standing on top of technology. My expensive $500 hard drive. Yeah, okay, whatever you want, however you want to do it. So what we're going to do is we're going to creatively piss them off, folks. This is the school for evil for you. We're going to creatively piss them off by being right. I'm in the right now, and it sucks for you. My complaints are legitimate. Our contract, we both signed and agreed upon. You have like 7 months of fucking shit to figure out, dude. So you already know you screwed up. If I mention a couple more complaints, until I'm told I'm harassing and not to contact someone, I can blow up his phone as often as I want. In fact, the guy told me don't text us or call us after 10 p.m. That makes sense. That's reasonable, right? But then calls me 10:30, 11:30 to 1:30 in the morning and thinks that's appropriate and okay. You're fucked, dude. You are fried when I hold you responsible for you. So I made sure to point all these things out, of course, and he has done it again since. So technically speaking, if I want to act just like my adversary, I'm going to let him text him any hour of the day and as often as I want, because that's what he can do. But I won't. But I will text him throughout the day during a reasonable hour, and I will continue to ask as if checking on my responsibilities. Hey, did you ever find someone to install that window, sir? I could really use it fixed. And I can be as polite and nice as I want and check up as often as I want until he gets so pissed that he doesn't want to deal with me, which is very likely. Tries to push out the problem instead of solving anything, because he can find more suckers, maybe. He's only had 8 different people check out this house and try to move in, and were unwilling until he fixed these exact issues, minus the hot water. They don't know about the temperature either, but the windows and the doors. That's right. In fact, the rooms that he's trying to rent out are full of his junk, and he's hoping to still extort and con people. And everybody's had the same answer. Let me know when you get it cleaned up. I'll come check it out again. Let me know when you get it done. I'll check it out. Hey, that's a great price, but let me know when you get it done. I'll check it out. So, where are you making up for it, buddy? But he has money for all these extra vehicles. Anyway, so I'll make the complaints. And he'll get more and more irritated. He's already tried to use my Asperger's against me. Also, good luck with that, you idiot. I don't know how to properly talk, and I really do my best, and I'm humble and patient and kind for a really long time. But if you really want to get down to brass tacks, not is there only no cure for Asperger's, not only am I actually seeking the help and the aid that I can get to help me at all, like therapy and stuff like that, but you only let people that live in your house with mental illnesses, or multiple houses, actually. You knew in advance that I was mentally ill in every single mental illness and what they are. And even if you didn't know what they were, you could have went on to discover them. We had an agreement, regardless of what mental illness you would like to use against me. But here's the thing, buddy, or something else you should consider as an alleged superior figure. If I'm the mentally ill one, then what's your excuse? I can paint a door. Give me the shit. I can install a door. Screwdriver. Come on, man. You're so lazy. So what's your excuse? If I'm the mentally ill one, shouldn't you have the superior behavior? You should be calm at all times. Nothing should bother you. You shouldn't be afraid of poor little Kevin Chaos. Standing his ground, asking for some, please, sir, may I have some hot water to bathe and do dishes? And then you throw away my dishes, claiming that you had to throw them away. They were ruined. First off, they weren't ruined. I've claimed way worse, and it's very easy. Have you ever heard of a fucking sponge? With the abrasive shit on one side? That's what you're going to use. Never give a retard a knife. My mom taught me that one. So, it's like, but now at first I was mad. I was pissed. Really, really pissed. I was like, this motherfucker out there, everything I endured, how dare he steal from me and destroy personal private property? Like, you're discarding my property. If I hadn't found that, it would be gone. AKA destroyed. So whether you look at it as destruction of private property or thievery for messing with things that do not belong to you, you relocated something that doesn't belong to you. So I was pretty furious. Because when I'd heard this information third party that he had to throw away some dishes that were bad, I didn't see anything missing. Because I wasn't looking at my shit. All of his shit's there. His shit's in worse condition than my shit that's in the garbage can. So I was pretty mad. But then something happened. I just got motivated instead. I know who I am. I know how smart I am. I've been in a million battles, and I've destroyed at least 100 businesses myself. just by talking. So, you know, and none of it's a lie either. Y'all guys are just fucking really horrible. You don't keep records while you slander others, and other people do keep records while they aren't willing to fight you just yet. So we end up with this large stack of if you ever fuck up, we're ready. So, yeah, like there was a Muslim that attacked me at a hotel. I was recording. He snatched and stole my phone from me, left it recording so he could continue to harass me, and you can catch one of the clips on YouTube. Incriminating himself. They threatened to call police on me. I stayed around being obnoxious, deliberately encouraging it. Got the police called. He was the one to be hunted down. He had already ditched off the property with a toolbox full of personal items. Wonder how guilty you look. And now what happens when I turn around this camera and show the video footage? And then the footage of you aiming at me, holding my device, my stolen device, while you say, you'll give me my things back in exchange for a favor. If I leave, when I leave, I'll go do this. No, you'll give me my things and then I'll leave. You're stealing from me. I'm going to stand here and challenge you knowing I'm in the right until we fucking solve this correctly. That's how I think. And that's how all of you should think. People are full of shit. Some people might wonder, well, hey, why'd you wait so long? You know, well, it's a good thing to wait. First off, you aren't an asshole. You don't build a habit of fighting every battle. You pick and choose your battles. Second, emotion is the biggest obstacle to power that there is. Hoping you're learning from this school for evil type shit, because I get to go through many battles and allow a lot of things to be able to take some huge chances sometimes to be able to do this. You know, you just make too many mistakes. And I'm thrilled that I get to solve them. I've been waiting for other people, other permission, other factors to solve it. You know, why not take you as a man of your word until you lie? Okay, now you've sufficiently lied several times. Now we know. There is no word to be trusted. I haven't seen a goddamn thing done. So, I'm gonna challenge this motherfucker. It's gonna go like this. I'm going to stay in this house, I'm going to pay the rent even against all those things, and I'm going to continue to make records, and we'll look into like the escrow and withholding all of those things, and then we'll live here rent-free and put that money aside if we need to. So I'll do that. I'll make the complaints. He'll get more and more agitated with the complaints, which isn't really anything bad or mean. I'm begging for some very basic necessities that we agreed upon, and I'm giving you, I'm giving you a fuck ton of money. I won't even announce my bills, but you can probably research my videos and find them. I'm giving you a lot of fucking money in exchange for certain services, according to the contract that you drew up. You're boned, bro. You're boned if this ever goes to court. So I'm going to stay here and piss them off just by living. You know, I will fix some of these things. Can't be too open about certain things. And it'll get to a point where he's too frustrated, where he's tired of complaints, and he will try to challenge it and use my text messages, my Asperger's, against me. I'm very familiar with this tactic. I talk really long. You're going to find some unhappiness in there somewhere, but I do my best. I don't even apologize as I go along, right? But hurt people are butt hurt. You know, they're just looking for a card to use. So he'll try to use that against me. I'll let him. He'll maybe want to give me a 30-day notice and claim to be harassed. Fine. Whatever you feel, buddy. I'm going to ignore the 30-day notice if I even receive it directly. It has to make it to me for it to count, just so you know the law. You have to deliver it. That's like when they give you a you've been saved. You know, you have to know it. That's why they go through all these elaborate measures to make sure you get that shit. There are no excuses. Because how do you know? How do you know this isn't his just latest lie of a 30-day notice? So it ain't like I'm gonna go out of my way to meet up with this fucking con artist. But let's say somehow you did it. Somehow you got it to me. You know, maybe you slipped it in the mail and I accidentally actually opened it. You never know. Did it make it to the house? Was it a package? Did it have a tracking number? People are retarded. And then it still doesn't guarantee it getting in my house. Where's your camera? On the inside of the front door, not the outside? Stupid. But let's say for whatever reason I even get the 30-day notice, it all passes somehow. Some miracle. Maybe he takes me up on that house meeting idea where we got the case manager and we can all rediscuss the contract that we signed. So maybe it does make it to me. Well, here's what's going to happen. I'm not going to leave. I'm going to wait until he tries to forcibly remove me with cops or court or whatever, and then I'm going to take it to the court without the money I don't have for a public defender. Now I can be a defendant, which doesn't really matter, and challenge all the same shit. I will be found correct. I hadn't done anything wrong. I didn't destroy personal and private property. You did. I didn't steal. You did. You broke the lease in at least 4 different areas. And if you want to go off of the lease and discuss more laws, there are requirements, landlord-tenant relationships, that you can look at the Virginia Code. You can look at the Virginia law. There are certain things that are in place. So then when you make your contract, you've added even more rules and stipulations, or sometimes countermeasures to reverse some of the Virginia law. Now, the contract promised me 2 functional windows, right? Makes sense. Promises me a door. It promises me central cooling and heat because he wants to save and earn money. This is his fallback, get rich quick off the mentally ill scheme. So by installing a central heating and cooling unit, one that he doesn't manage, that can go up to 90, 30 degrees, right? And calling it a smart thermostat, which learns from human input, of which it's not getting. You see what I'm saying, but that's supposed to stop us, because we've been specifically told, when one of the roommates asked, from having our own heating or cooling units. We're not allowed to get our own AC. We're not allowed to get our own heating unit. Of course, if anybody ever did that behind his back, it would be understood. So he has all this set up to where he's breaking several fucking laws, and I look forward to crushing him into the dirt, metaphorically speaking, legally speaking, financially speaking. The way I see it is 7 months, you've kind of robbed this kid, me. For 14 days, you robbed me of hot water. That's what? Half a month, right? Roughly. Okay, so half of a month, rent, okay, cool. Except for that's not how things work, unfortunately. But I can assure you this. I will get my money back. I will get even. It's guaranteed. And I will have a roof over my head for some time. That might be the only thing that I lose. And if only temporarily. And I'm pretty sure I have a way that it can work where I still get somewhere else to live at the same time. We'll see, right? I will definitely update you guys on the great story. We're going to call this Landlord Wars Part 1. That way, when I update the story later after I've been going to court, or maybe I filmed a little argument. They don't like that either. I had a camera filming them after one of the times he harassed me. Ooh, he hated that shit. The woman was like, and I played along. I lied. But I half played along. She's like, are you recording me? And I'm like, I say, well, yeah, I'm recording. I've been harassed. He likes to weaponize my speech. He comes over here and he starts problems. She asked not to record her. Now, I know legally that I can. Now, there's some wiggle room here. This property is theirs. However, I live here, which makes it my property. I can record. I'm renting a space here. This is my space, technically. I can record. It's private property, their property, but they're coming on to the property. We're the ones living here. You know what I'm saying? So there's a little wiggle room and technicality. But here's what I did instead. I pretended like she was right, and I said, oh, well, yeah, it's a private residence, and you do have that right. That's true. And then I made it seem like I turned off the camera and continued recording for several minutes. Just so I could capture this guy. And one of the things I captured was it takes 6 different people for a retired Navy engineer to YouTube search tutorial videos on installing this thermostat. Engineering power, baby. That is some crazy shit. And one of those researchers, the learning disabled roommate. Yeah, you can't make up Kevin's life, man. He's just surrounded by chaos. So he's going to end up taking me to court and he'll lose. And even if for some reason I lose this place, I think I have a way where I won't have to go homeless over it. Even if I do, I'll probably be happy over it all. Because it means less stress and less bullshit here. I can always rebuild, you know what I mean? But we're going to have fun with it. I know for one thing, though, I'm glad I'm finally bucking on this motherfucker. You know, I mean, I'm at full-scale war mode, if you can't tell. You know, I'm lit like a candle. I'm ready. And I'm going to use everything. All the times I didn't act. And that's the beautiful thing about criminals and terrorists. They don't understand. You know, they think just because people aren't immediately angry or evil like they are, that they don't have some potential to be able to be. You know, so like all the times I didn't yell, all the times I didn't curse, all the times I didn't call the police, all the times, etc. and so on. This man could have been fucked 100 times over. You know he could have. I've been here and witnessed him doing illegal work to the house, right, without the proper permits, and then having to ask the workers after how and what they did so he could, quote, forge the documents properly, end quote. Yeah, do you think I have that recorded? I wonder how fucking clever and crafty I fucking am. Yeah? So, from the very beginning, he's been screwing on. In fact, I lived here while it was still illegal to live here. How far back do your receipts that you gave me for the rent go? That'll be interesting. Pretty sure you gave me receipts before you were legally allowed to even rent out one of these rooms, showing that you broke the law from day one. I am not someone to fuck with just because I'm lenient, I'm patient, and I wish for you to grow over time. It would be nice if you did the right thing and didn't incur my wrath. Didn't need a sense of justice side of things. But unfortunately, you're not nice. And criminals, thieves, con artists, dictators, authoritarians, and similar lot, you know, they like to think that just because you haven't acted means that you won't act. Hey, it looks like y'all pretty much got a podcast after all. Thank God I got this temperature down and shit. Tell the difference in the way that I was breathing, right? It's still a bit hot, but not quite like it was. So just because someone doesn't act like it, let's say he smacked me in the face, he didn't, but let's say I didn't beat the shit out of you immediately. Doesn't mean I don't have the time to plot and think about how to do it the right way, how to hurt you back without being hurt again. If I smack you after you smack me, you can smack me again, right? So that fucking makes no sense unless I'm just beating the living shit out of you in supreme weaponry or supreme body strength or something in such a over-extenuated way that you know never to try to swing at me again. That would be the only way that that could go, and that could also incur charges on me, right? The level of the severity of the beating towards the person who threw that first strike. There's a level that's self-defense, and there's a level where you're going to be the one in trouble, okay? And you're going to be the one in trouble if you're beating someone's ass to the point where they know why it was foolish to do so in the first place and encourage them not to do it again, right? So there are other ways to win. And you don't have to win everything immediately. 6-7 months on certain issues, well, you know, you gave a lot of different incentive to a lot of different people on how this was going to go, a lot of different excuses. Pretty sure those 7 months is not how long it takes to find someone to install. Over half of a year, even during Corona times, pretty sure you're a fucking idiot. Pretty sure you make really bad choices like documenting your own fucking mistakes. But none of mine. Okay. So look forward to, what do I call it, Landlord War? Landlord War Part 2, because I do plan, especially if we get the Alice meeting, you're going to see the protagonist, antagonist in action, folks. You're going to see the whole evil finger pyramid shit. I don't know if you'll see my face. It depends how I set it up to record. Because it might be something I'm wearing, so that I can keep it concealed or something like that and get away with it longer. But you're about to see how I handle business and the sarcasm and the rhetoric of how to talk to someone who thinks that they're better than you and how to properly crush them into the dirt. You know what I mean? To quote Charlie Sheen, you're going to see winning. Or Donald Trump, for that matter. They have some pretty similar strategies on that one. But, you know, enough's enough. You know, the bully in this, when the bully bullies the nerd so much that the nerd eventually cracks and he brings a gun to his school, the bully dies. And then he gets to feel bad about it later, the nerd, because that's not what he wanted, but he did solve the problem of destroying the destroyer. Abaddon. Destroyer of men. So that's pretty much what we're looking at, is how to properly handle that. Biding your time, calculating, making very meticulous plans and actions. I've only discussed some of them here, and even if he had every part of my battle plan, he would fail, because he's fucked up too much. And I was ready for this. Just because I was kind, patient, passive, doesn't mean you get away with it. Sorry, buddy. You pushed the final straw. 2 weeks of no hot water? You have any idea what a psychological stressor that could be? I'd love to be clean. I'd love to do the dishes. I'd love to keep my shit that you tried to throw away and fucked me out of. Okay. But, looks like we're going to have to settle this with other authorities, because clearly you're no man or a doll. Retired Navy engineer. 1/3 of a door painted. Dude, that is so hard to understand. How the fuck did he last at all, ever, in that job? Did he just suddenly get Alzheimer's? Is he, like, doing a Biden? You know, like, fucking a downhill decline into senility and stupidity where you fucking don't know how to speak or do basic things like turn doorknobs and shit? Like, maybe that's what's going on. Maybe I should be nice. He's an old black man. What do I know? I don't know shit. I ain't been old yet. He's retiring. That puts him at least 55, right? So, for all I know, his mental faculties was failing, and he's retiring not so much by choice, but out of necessity. Maybe he has the inability to screw in light bulbs and forgets that it's clockwise to put them in and counterclockwise to take them out. He might fuck up and smash it in his hand, cut himself, have to think after the fact, never get a retarded knife or a light bulb, I guess. and again, you guys have seen a little bit about this from time to time. but I haven't mentioned his name yet. Huh? No defamation, no bullshit, no excuses. But if I'm telling the live version of events, and a live footage, just so you also know, live gets around a lot of legal laws. This is a live stream. This isn't a recording. I'm not taking your picture, etc. And there's certain stipulations, of course, but, you know, if possible, I'll do it live, and that would be beautiful. I just plan on continuing to document these events. I'm going to get mine. I'm not going to wait. Not anymore. I'm not going to wait on any of this shit. I'm at this point in my life where I'm waging war with everybody who thinks that they're going to wage war with me. You think you're going to fuck me over? You think you're going to manipulate me? You think you're going to steal, leech, con art, whatever? Just because I don't fucking destroy you, just because I love all human beings, man. Doesn't mean that I don't have the ability to. It doesn't mean that I never will. It doesn't mean extort me, sir, please, just because I'm passive. You forgot the aggressive part to that. Passive-aggressive. Bipolar, okay? Extreme one way, and then extreme another way. And that's what you're about to see. But a little bit of calculation in advance. So if you can calculate before you have the breakdown, that's what you want to call it, then you're ready to use all of that overly amped fuel, laser beamed focus to a particular set of sequences and choices. Cold, calculated, meticulous. That's like my Snape voice, I guess. Alright, enjoy this fucking story, nerds, nerdettes, lovers, haters. I hope you found it somewhat amusing and didn't take anything as serious as insult, of course. Obviously, I should give some more disclaimers. I'm not about racism. I fucking hate racists. I hate a lot of this shit, and due to my fucking French skin, I get the same white devil treatment from time to time. Sometimes quite literally said out loud. It's not easy. It's not easy being white, as silly as that sounds. You know, everybody wants to be angry about unrelated shit. Everybody wants to judge about unrelated shit. You've never known me. You don't know. And you're wrong, because I ain't. But because I look like this, and you look however you look, I might be perceived as a bad guy, plotting and toiling, wanting to harm you way before we began, and that is not the case. If we want to talk about equal rights, folks, then we need to talk about equal. Okay? I don't know you anything. I don't have anything, even if I could give you everything. I don't have it. To look and judge me or to pick someone who looks like you to take care of is racism. If your only real reason for making a decision is the color of someone's skin, even if on the inside of you you might feel fear or believe a lot of these things on why you have that opinion, it's still racism. You've made a judgment and made choices a certain way of an entire color, which covers more than one race. And in doing so, you became the racist by fearing other races. And I hope that goes to heart to some of you out there looking for more wars. There is no war. There's the occasional, and there is the percentage of people that do think that way. But we're creating more war thinking in terms of like this. I would have loved for it to be easy. I didn't come up with the contract. I don't care about the fucking paint on the door at all. I care about my door functioning to be able to close and lock and protect my expensive shit. Same thing for my window. That's not a lot. I care about the hot water. But I don't care whether you're white, black, yellow, hulky, and green. If you think that you're superior than someone, I have a problem with you. If you think you're better than anybody. If you're a narcissist, I have a problem with you. I'm going to be a narcissist with a narcissist. An angel with an angel. A demon with a demon. If you want to get down to color racial profiles and look at me as a white devil, much like the bullying story before this with the landlord and such, what happens if I let you be right instead of arguing with you? If I argue with you, I lose because we're arguing and you're still going to like increase the heat of a situation. If I don't argue and agree with you, you're going to feel validated and right to hate on or hurt me. And at what point does that make sense? So I might be standing up for my rights and others like me's rights. Looking like this while I do so. But it is not for any malicious intent, much more than to hurt and stop the person who's hurt me and others from hurting again. I enjoy war when it happens, but never want to get to that level. But then when I'm finally ready to know, enough of this, enough's enough, I'm going to squash this, you're never going to be able to harm me again. There's some joy to that. There's some joy to knowing definitely for sure in advance that you're going to be alright, even though people seek to harm you. Does it make sense? And that's where I am, and that's why I'm still happy, even though I'm possibly going to lose this house and have a big court battle and terrorists with racial ideation and stuff, like hiring people, fucking got people beating down my door with sledgehammers and shit. Which, that situation was fine, too. I mean, I had to put a lot of shit up against that door. She's like fucking 400 pounds and has a lot of fucking muscle and shit. Anything that has a sledgehammer. So I had to fucking bar my door or fight and harm him. And I think I made the right decision despite the shit talkers, they try to lull you into stupidity. A, you've got more muscle mass than me. B, you have a weapon. That's fucking dumb. Even if I could take you out, I'm taking a lot of fucking chances for no reason when I have a door and I can just put something in front of it for now. And hopefully you figured out how to calm down, right? Well, that guy, just to give you an update there too, ended up getting arrested. I handled it the right way. Didn't get myself arrested, beating his ass better than he would have beat my ass with superior weaponry and tactics, right? So I made the right decision. Meanwhile, by waiting and playing it right and collecting data and information, without even having directly charge it, I put out one, I forget what the fuck it was called. I can't think straight right now. But what he ended up getting in trouble for was biting a cop in the hand. So my point is, if I continue to be the intellectual and not join you immediately in all of your wars, you crazy emotional people out there, you're going to lose. All I got to do is be patient and keep a memory and hopefully some kind of evidence. Even without the evidence, I'll still win as long as I don't give you evidence against me. So think it through, pal. Landlord Wars. Look forward to part 2. Love you guys.